In this video, I'm going to go over finding volume of pyramids and cones. We're going to be able to explain how to find volume of pyramids and cones using the sentence frame, the base shape is blank, and the volume formula I should use is blank. So you do need pencil and paper. So pause the video if you need to go get that stuff. So the first thing I want to do before we get started with pyramids is I just wanted to draw a distinction here between a prism and a pyramid. So a prism, remember, we had two sides that were parallel to each other. With pyramids, it's not the case, and we'll see in just a few minutes why that's not the case. But pyramids have 1/3 the volume of a prism that has the same base shape. In other words, a prism could hold 3 times as much as a pyramid. So let me show you what I mean by this with an example. So if I have, let's just take a cone and a cylinder. Those both have the same base shape. So they both have the base shape of a circle. I could take my cone and I could fit it pretty easily inside my cylinder. The cylinder will hold 3 times as much as this cone will hold. So there is more volume inside the cylinder than there is in the cone. So this first shape I want to go over is what we call a rectangular pyramid. So in a rectangular pyramid, the base shape is a rectangle. So here is my base shape. So this is my base shape. Now notice, so this is where we're going to draw the distinction between pyramid and prism. Remember, with a prism, you had to have parallel bases. So remember, if this was a square, then we were looking for a square to be parallel to that. With a pyramid, you're looking for the base shape, and then you're looking for where do all the corners meet. So all these corners of the shape meet up here at this point. So all the corners come up and meet at a particular point. So that's sort of the difference between the pyramid and the prism. So the pyramid is going to hold less volume than the prism. So what the volume formula that we're going to use, we're still going to use the base and the height. And we're still going to use this additional height inside. So the height here is this dotted line on the inside. So this red line is the height of the pyramid. So that's the distance from the base of the pyramid to the tip of the pyramid. So that's the height. So the volume for a rectangular pyramid is going to be base times height. So the volume of the rectangle times the height. So that's the height from the base of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. And then we're going to divide that by 3. So this is the volume formula for a rectangular prism. The next shape is a triangular prism. So in this one, your base shape here is a triangle. So here's my triangle. And all the edges of your triangle come up and meet at a particular point. So this point up here. So this is a pyramid because all the edges of your triangle meet at a point. And then there is this height right here. So this is the height of your pyramid. So that's the distance between the base of your pyramid and the point where all your sides meet. So to find the volume of a triangular pyramid, its volume equals the area of the base, so 1/2 base times height times the other height. Just like with volume of prisms, the only difference here is that this is going to hold 1/3 the volume of a triangular prism. So this is going to be all divided by 3. So this is the volume formula for a triangular prism. Pause the video if you need to copy this down. The next shape here is a cone. So here's my base shape, is a circle. So this one's going to be similar to the cylinder because it has a base shape of a circle. So my base shape is a circle. Remember, in a circle, you'd be given either a radius or a diameter. So let's say we're given a radius. Then notice from the circle, there's this line that goes up here and this line that goes up here. So those two lines meet at a point. So that would be the tip of the cone. And then your height of your pyramid is this purple line right here. So this is the height. So that's the distance from the base of the cone to the tip where those two blue lines meet. So to find the volume of the cone, its volume equals the area of the circle, so pi r squared, times the height, just like when we found volume of a prism of a cylinder, and you're going to divide that by 3. So that is the volume of the cone. So pause the video if you need to and copy that down. So let's do a couple of examples. So take a minute if you need to pause and copy it down. So in this example, you're going to start off by highlighting the base shape. So here it's the triangle. So this is my base shape, is a triangle. Now, remember with a triangle, the height is always perpendicular to the base. So if this is the base of my triangle, then this is the height of my triangle. And then we also need to find the height from the base to the top of the pyramid. So here's the base, and I'm just going to go up to the top of the pyramid. So that height, they tell you, is 4 miles. So I'm just going to plug all this in to my volume formula for a triangular prism. So volume, remember for a triangular prism, it's 1/2 base times height divided by 3. So I'm just going to plug all that in there. So volume is going to be 1/2. The base is 3. The height is 4. And then my green height, so the height of the pyramid, is 4. And I'm going to divide all this by 3. So when you plug that into your calculator, you're going to get 1/2 of 12 times 4 divided by 3. So if you plug this into your calculator, you're going to get volume equals 6 times 4 all divided by 3. So that's going to get you 8 miles cubed. So if you need to finish copying that one down, please pause the video and do so. I'm going to move on to the next example. So example 2, remember first identify the base shape. So I'm going to highlight the base shape. Pause the video to copy the shape down if you need to. So here's my base shape. I highlighted it in yellow. So that's a circle. So I know the volume formula for this. This is a cone because it meets at a point here. So the volume formula is going to be pi r squared times h divided by 3. So if I look at the cone in my circle, my radius is 9. And my height, so from the base shape, so from the circle to the top of the cone is 12 inches. So the height is 12 inches. The height is not one of the sides of the cone. So the height is not this 21. That's just there to try to confuse you. So the height is 12. So remember, the height always has to be perpendicular to the base. So since it's perpendicular to that one, we're good. So I'm going to plug in 9 for the radius and 12 for the height. So the volume is going to be pi times 9 squared times the height, which is 12. All this gets divided by 3. So I'm going to, instead of write pi, I'm going to write 3.14. 9 squared is 81, and then I have times 12. All of that gets divided by 3. So you're just going to plug this into your calculator. And when you do that, so when you plug this whole thing, you get 1017.36, and this is inches cubed. So don't forget to divide by 3 after you plug in the top. So after you do 3.14 times 81 times 12, don't forget to divide that by 3. So this is 1017.36 inches cubed. So pause the video to finish that one if you need to. The next one, this one is slanted, but we can still identify what our base shape is because we know here's the tip of the pyramid. So here is my base shape, is down here. So this base shape is a rectangle. So on my rectangle that I sketched there, the base is 12 and the height is 12. And this 7 here, the 7 centimeters, that is the height of the pyramid. So this is your height of the pyramid. So that's the distance from the base of the pyramid to the tip of the pyramid. That's your distance. So it's 7 centimeters. This isn't exactly drawn to scale. This should probably go all the way down here. But you get the idea. This is 7 centimeters. So the volume of this pyramid is going to be base times height, all divided by 3. So the area of the base shape is 12 times 12. So it's going to be 12 times 12. And then the height was 7. So times 7, all of that gets divided by 3. You're just going to plug this into your calculator. So you're going to get 1008 divided by 3. So the volume is 336, and I think this was centimeters cubed. So pause the video if you need to finish this one. Next one is similar to that last one. So I want you to try this one on your own. So pause the video, give it a try, and then when you unpause it, I'll have worked it out for you. Okay, so for this one, hopefully you gave it a try. Here's this worked out. So the base of the base shape was a rectangle, so you should have done 5 times 6 times the height, which is 11. So that would get you 330 divided by 3, and so your volume is 110 units cubed. And so last example I have for you is a composite figure. So you have 2 different shapes here in one. So notice I have a base shape here is a circle, and this is a circle down here. So that means this shape here is a cylinder. That's what we looked at in the last week in our notes. Then there's this top shape. So we're going to use this same circle again, and notice we have this top shape is a cone. So if I'm going to find the volume of this shape, I'm going to find the volume of the cylinder. And we know that in the cylinder, there is a radius of 6. So the radius is 6 inches. And they show us the height of the cylinder is 140 inches. So I'm going to find the volume of the cylinder, and I'm going to add it to the volume of the cone. So here's for the cone, the circle, and then here's that. So this is the cone. The height of the cone, so from here to here, they tell you is 10 inches. And then the radius is going to be the same as the radius of that bottom circle. So the bottom circle had a radius of 6. So this is also going to have a radius of 6. So here the radius is 6 inches. So the volume for the cylinder is pi r squared times h. So this will be pi times 6 squared times 140, which is going to be 3.14 times 36 times 140. So the volume of the cylinder is 15,825.6 inches cubed. And now I'm going to find the volume of the cone. So remember, it's going to be the same formula as the cylinder, but we're going to have to divide by 3. So it's pi r squared h times h divided by 3. So the radius is 6. The height, be careful, it's not 140 this time. The height here this time is only 10 inches. So I'm going to multiply this by 10 divided by 3. So what I'm plugging into my calculator is I'm going to do 3.14 times 36, because that's 6 times 6, times 10. And then after I do that multiplication, I'm going to divide by 3. So the volume here will be 376.8 inches cubed. Now, if I want the total volume, remember at the very end, I have to add up those two volumes together. So I'm going to do total volume. So the total volume is going to be 15,825.6 inches cubed plus 378.8 inches cubed. So I'm just going to add those two together, and I'm going to get 16,202.4 inches cubed. So that's the total volume when I add those two volumes together. And so this, your homework for pyramids is on will be on MathXL for you.